Hello, everybody.
What up, what up, what up?
My name is Tim Daniel. His name is Ben Brown. And welcome to this week's edition of Late Night Reds, brought to you by the Riverfront Media Network, an affiliate of Blue Wire Podcast Network, where we are excited to be talking about our fantastic Cincinnati Reds coming off a sweep of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California, Southeast 4th Street, Los Angeles, California, 18743.
The Fighting Trouts.
Yes. I don't know. The world's longest name for a baseball team of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But hey, before we get to that, of course, got to do a little housework here. If you were just checking us out for the first time and seeing us here on your watches on YouTube or Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. Well, if you're on X, make sure you give us a follow. If you're on YouTube, make sure you give us a nice solid subscription so you can kind of keep up this work there. And if you're listening to us on an app of your podcast app of choice, please make sure you give us a nice solid subscription, and a review would not hurt either. But this also would not be possible without our wonderful friends at patreon.com/Riverfront where for just a couple bucks a month, you can hang out with me and Ben and Chad and Nate and Joe and Seth and Parker and all of us all day, every day, just whenever you want. Send us a message. And we are there like swimwear. So obviously a fun weekend against the Angels. Let's go ahead and touch on the games real quick. So let's start with Friday. I was in attendance Friday, which was a lot of fun. A 7-1 victory. Nick Lodol goes 6 1/3 and is really, really good.
Gosh, dang, filthy stuff. Just filthy.
Yeah. Elly De La Cruz has 3 stolen bases and goes Oppo Taco for a homer. Tyler Stephenson puts one in the bleachers at GABP. So that was a lot of fun. Nice 7-1 victory. A 5-run 8th inning to put it away. 7th or 8th, one of the two. I can't remember.
I think it was, 7th, I think. Yeah.
If only we had things in our access so we could just look at our phones real quick and just kind of look at this, right? Oh, yeah. If only. But that was a lot of fun. So Saturday comes around and we have a nice solid fun where Tyler Stephenson decides Friday wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hit a grand salami. It was the 8th.
Yes.
By the way, on Friday.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Puts like grand slam up there. They're down 2-0 the first inning. They put up a 5 spot. So we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into Tyler Stephenson a little later in the episode, as you can see with the title. Spencer Steer goes 3 for 4. Elly, 4 walks, which we're going to talk about that too, because that's going to be important. And then Nick Martinez going 3 innings in relief was great. Was absolutely awesome. Might have to start in Texas on Friday so we're gonna talk about that as well. Which leads into today, 3-0 win. Just an unbelievable performance by the bullpen. Frankie Montas leaves after 2 outs with the comebacker. Sounds like they dodged a bullet. From everything the reports say, it looks like it's just a bruise, no fracture.
Yeah.
So thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I got
What up? What's good, Pat?
Pat's here saying hi. Sydney's here telling us let's go.
Hey, what's up, Sid?
Sydney was at the game Friday and we did not see each other, so that's a disappointment. We'll make sure we make up for that at the next game. Dude, bullpen 8 1/3 scoreless today. The offense, Anaheim pitched really well, but the offense has 2 really huge moments from 2 guys that you've been waiting to see this from. So you get that Christian Encarnacion Strand 0-2 count, puts the ball in the gap to score 2 runs, and then Jeimer Candelario gets a really nice hit. Just hit the ball pretty well this week, even with when he was playing without the flu, and puts the flag down, puts the stamp down on that one. So the Reds have now swept the White Sox, been swept by the Mariners, and then swept the Angels. So I would like to break this before the Phillies come to town, who are super hot right now. Yeah, by the way, are really, they just played the White Sox too. All right. Let's be 100 here. But before that, even have won 11 of their last 14, or 14-8, have won 6 in a row. So, Sydney, I was in the upper deck. I was in 509. Upper deck selling beer. No, shoot Tim attack. Maybe Tim wanted a beer.
I mean, holla at your boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did enjoy a Kona Big Wave at the ballpark Friday night. It's my new fave. Big fan,
Kona Big Wave. Haven't heard of that one.
dude. Pretty solid.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all right, man. Let's real quick because we're gonna talk about a few different things that came out this year, individually player wise. But let's go team wise. What do you take away from this weekend with this big, a really nice bounce back? Friday was such a satisfying win. Just a much needed after the Seattle series. Everyone was kind of had their heads down. The fan base was kind of really upset because, I mean, Lucas Sims on Thursday really was not good. I mean, Wednesday was really not good. And then Tuesday, I mean, they just had to get away from Julio Rodriguez's defense, apparently, because all those nice things I said about him on the show last week, and he was like, "Yeah, Tim, you're right." And I was like, "Why did I have to be right here? Couldn't I have been right about the Reds portion of things?" But they bounce back. They get a huge sweep of the Mariners. I mean, of the Angels, and keep Mike Trout from doing any damage.
Yeah, absolutely. My biggest takeaway from this weekend is our bullpen pitched well. Our bullpen was phenomenal, and we asked multiple guys to go out multiple times and put together solid innings, and they did. So our bullpen pitched well. We had timely hitting. It was just really good to see us kind of get back in that groove a little bit. As far as getting some timely hits, I was a little bit concerned today. Sid.
It was right there. Ba 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 ba.
I was a little bit concerned today because we were getting that through 5. It was pretty bit concerned. Yeah.
All right. I think we had the network connectivity.
Other than that, man, it was good bounce after sweat. It was great to come back. Did I lose you?
You froze for a second. I think I got you back.
Okay. All right.
There we go. All right.
But no, it was really good to have that bounce back after getting swept in Seattle, like you said. So it was timely hitting. Bullpen was phenomenal. Is it all repeating itself?
I mean, it's all good. Whoever listens to this later
will be a good bounce back series.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good bounce back series. Much needed. Friday was fun. I thought the ballpark, even though the attendance wasn't the highest of the weekend, I thought the ballpark was great. I thought the atmosphere was incredible. The fans were really into the game. It was a blast, man. And so I'm excited that we're gonna get in those. Obviously, getting that 12-9 mark is huge. Let's just talk about a couple of things from the weekend. So obviously, this leads really well into the Tyler Stephenson bomb on Friday that breaks a 1-1 tie. And then yesterday, the grand slam that he goes opposite field, which was really impressive. The fact that he had that hand speed to kind of pull that off and that power.
Yeah.
But right now, he has been we touched on it for a second last week. We didn't get really a deep dive, but this is a guy who has had a lot of bad luck as far as he's hitting the ball really hard and he's just right at people. And so the kind of get the couple to fall was really nice. This is right now his baseball savant page for hitting. So he's in the 87th percentile for expected weighted on base average. His slugging is in the 87th percentile. His barrel percentage is in the 100 percentile. His hard hit was 95%. And so, when you're swinging the bat like that, something's bound to happen. And the defense has certainly been better. It's definitely improving as far as him calling games behind the plate. Today he got the DH. Local Luke was behind the plate. But dude, this was a theme of the year, right? This was something we talked about a lot from October to April. Just they need him. And I think that obviously there was a lot of concern the first couple of weeks. He wasn't really hitting the ball really well. And now he's been hitting the ball really hard. And now it's starting to fall. I know he didn't have the best game today, but this is the guy we believed in. This is what we wanted to see. You can't be mad when someone just snags the ball out of the infield on the air from him. But dude, like just the way he's hitting the ball, the way he's
Yeah.
tapped in, I think we're gonna see those numbers go up even higher in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, good things happen when you barrel the baseball. You know what I mean? So he's been able to get the barrel to the ball a lot. So when you're able to do that, you're going to be able to find holes. So or hit the ball out like he did this weekend twice. So um, it's a process. We always talk about baseball is hard, but when you're able to have that high of a barrel percentage, good things are going to happen. You're not going to hit the other person's glove all the time. So you just have to be consistent in that, and that's what we're seeing now, right? We're seeing him consistently come up and have decent at bats and get good contact on baseballs, which is going to lead to good things. So this is the guy that we wanted, right? Like this is the guy we expected. Coming off of injuries, coming off a lot of the disappointment. This is the Tyler Stephenson that we wanted, and that the Reds need to be productive in the bottom half of that lineup and also behind the plate. Like you said, defensively, he looks like he's locked in, doing a lot better job calling games, doing a lot better job defensively. So this is the Tyler Stephenson that puts you in the spot of being a playoff contender.
Yeah, man. I thought that I wouldn't say like he's world renowned behind the mound. I wouldn't say he's Ivan Rodriguez by any means, but I really have liked the improvement this year. I think he's done a really good job calling games. You can definitely tell the trust factor with his guys has been really nice. So that's been really impressive. Sydney brings this up. He said not having to worry about playing first has helped him focus better and help with success so far. Imagine if we could have said that about Nick Senzel, if it was like, well, I didn't have to play 17 positions and I could just do my thing. By the way, Nick Senzel
hit a bomb today.
Hit a homer today.
He did.
Yeah. To which I got a response on the Late Night Reds Twitter account with a bunch of people like, well, he's going to get hurt rounding the bases, or, he'll be on the IL next week. It's like, can you just enjoy it one damn moment? Right? Like, let me have this. All right. I didn't get a lot of these in Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Let it ride, man.
Yeah. Plus, like, Jesse Winker's like having a season of a lifetime right now for the Nationals. Have you seen his numbers?
I have not.
Dude, he's like second in the league in batting average.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah. I guess it was just getting away. I mean, the Seattle thing was like a mess.
That wasn't. That was a disaster. Yeah, it was a disaster for sure.
I barely remember him playing for the Brewers. I know he did, obviously, but I barely remember anything from it.
Yeah.
And so
that was like a blink of an eye. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So what he's doing so far in Washington's been really nice, which I'm happy to see for him. I genuinely really liked him when he was here.
Yeah. Yeah. Good dude.
Obviously went to an All-Star game here. Started an All-Star game at that. So, but that's not why you guys are here for us to talk about Jesse Winker. But yeah, I'll just kind of echo what you just kind of said about Stephenson. I think that what we're seeing there, like I said, he's not going to hit the glove all the time. Like Sydney said, not having to focus on playing first base helps a lot. You remember in I think it was 21. No, it was 21 and 22. When every conversation about him, I couldn't even take it anymore. It was like every question we got about him was like, should he just quit catching and play first base? And I was like, do you understand with how he hits, how much more money he's going to make as a catcher than a first baseman?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And we talked about this before. The catching position isn't one where there's a whole lot of elite guys.
Right.
So if you are halfway decent, if you can bat anywhere from 260 to 285 batting average and hit anywhere from 18 to 24 home runs and drive in anywhere from 70 to 90 runs a year, that's a pretty good statistical year for a catcher. So, they're not going to pay a first baseman to do that a whole lot of money. But catching, I mean, that's elite status right there.
Yeah, I mean, who's doing that right now? Like Gabriel Moreno.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
William Contreras. Like it's not.
I mean, the list is very small.
Yeah, when Seattle brings Harry Ford up, it's probably gonna be a different conversation. But
yeah, right.
We're a little bit away from that.
We got some time.
Yeah, man. I think the other thing I want to point out too is hitting opposite field. which we're going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about that with Elly here in a second as well, just how much that helps a lot. Obviously, from the school of Joey Votto, where that was that was his specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Until he decided to just like hit bombs all the time, which was very fun. I'm not
It
ever going to
was.
take away from it. It was a blast. Those last 3 years where it's just like, I'm just going to go up there and just swing as hard as I
Yep.
can and see what I run into.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with him kind of figuring that out, like that grand slam yesterday, just the hand speed was so freaking impressive to get around on
Yeah.
that and put it over the wall. And I know that was more of a line drive homer, where obviously his homer Friday that he pulled into left field was
Yeah.
pretty close to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But it's just such a nice thing to see. And I think for him, for Elly, I mean, Spencer Steer's obviously done that already for most of his time and most of the time in the big leagues. This is pretty awesome. I should have got the spray charts because that Elly De La
Mm-hmm.
Cruz spray chart's very fun. I think Ben, this is just a segment every week. We're gonna call this segment Elly is awesome. So
I'm down with it.
yeah, this
I'm
week in
down with
Elly
it.
is awesome. 2 homers, 6 RBI.
I like the
5
picture with all the
walks.
chains.
Yeah. 3 stolen bases. So when I was Googling, I was trying to find pictures of him in the City Connect because that's where he had the home run Friday. But you know me, I can't. So it was all from last year in the Under Armour cleats, and we're not
Not
posting
doing.
Under Armour on late
Yeah.
night Reds. Okay,
Yeah,
like
not
we're
doing
not giving
it.
them love. So we can't be having that.
Yeah, not doing it.
Dude. All right. So there is a lot to get to here in the Elly De La Cruz crowd. So obviously the homer in
Yeah.
Seattle, I know they lose that game, but that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that like I know he got thrown out at third by Julio Rodriguez on Tuesday, but I love that he challenged him and said like you have to make the best play possible to get me, and he did. Give him kudos, he did. So I really like that, obviously. But Friday, dude, oh my gosh, the way that he creates runs, I don't know if it's been seen before. I can't think of anyone else. Like, so he, first off, we've talked all this whole time since he's been in the majors about just like, should he still switch hit? And he gets a single up the middle against a left-handed pitcher, steals second, forces a throwing error when he steals third. So just like walks into home plate. That was awesome. The home run in the 8th inning where it just goes opposite field and just like no doubter, just knew it as soon as he left his bat, was awesome. Saturday is what I want to talk about. 4 walks. One of those with the bases loaded on a 4-0 count. So obviously we don't do intentional walks anymore. We just do the whole like, and he goes to the base thing. But he is literally at the point now where people are afraid to pitch to him. There is like fear when he steps in the bag. Like, and you can say what you want about like, I just don't want him to hurt me. Like, yeah, dude, bases were loaded yesterday, and someone was still like, I'm not giving him a chance. Like, I will eat this one run instead of him putting 4 on the board. I mean, funny enough, Friday, if we don't have that wild pitch that Spencer Steer scores, it's a grand slam. But dude, just like this thing now, we're like, I wouldn't say it's the Bonds treatment, but I don't know really how else to put it.
I can't say it's. I mean, it's Bonds-esque, but I wouldn't say it's full out Bonds. But yeah, dude, it's a special thing. Like to watch his. And I was looking at some of the stuff today on Twitter, X, whatever we call it. Not only is he doing that, but his strikeout rate or pitch take rate is lower now than the league average. So not only is he hitting the ball hard, not only is he getting on base, not only is he stealing bases, he's swinging at less bad pitches, which leads to 4-walk baseball games. So what are you going to do with this guy if he's not swinging at bad pitches, can walk, and can hit bombs? Like what he's able to do to generate runs, what he's able to do all these different things, man, is just incredible. And it's crazy that it's started this early in the season. Like,
yeah, dude.
For people to look at him and be like, yeah, dude, I'm not pitching to you. I'm just going to go ahead and walk this. Like for people to do that now, this early in the season, is crazy. It's crazy.
So yes, are you trying to say he's developing? I thought so in the chat on the Slack chat this week. Skylar Webster brought up a really awesome point that I wanted to bring up. That um, I think people are still looking at old film in the sense that there's like you can tell like it's either they're scared to pitch to him or they're daring
Mhm,
him to chase, and he's like not chasing anymore.
mhm.
Even right-handed, you can see him more comfortable in the box, and obviously
Yeah.
he's definitely better as a left-handed hitter. But you are starting to see that growth there, and I think that's been like really fascinating in this whole, to use Sydney's word, development. Um, we can look. I have no issue talking an hour just about how great Elly De La Cruz is.
Mhm.
There was one point in the game, so I went Friday with Sean Mackey, who was part of the Riverfront team on NBA Friday with me and Parker Fields. And I kind of looked at him for a second. This is before the home run. And I'm like, can you believe this guy plays on our favorite team? And then it's that
Mhm.
bomb. And Reds fan Brandon on Base Machine on X, one of my favorite follows on social media. I've hyped him up quite a few times on the show. Put the same thing out there. He's like, can you believe Elly De La Cruz plays for your favorite team? The only time I've really ever felt that way is Elly De La Cruz and like Joe Burrow. Those are the only times I've ever been like, oh my
Yeah.
God, those guys play for my favorite team. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to say too, I know that he was kind of the start of the play on Friday. There was this really cool defensive play where he fields the ball in the hole at shortstop, tries to get Rendon at first, and kind of throws the ball a little off balance. Steer gets the throw. Joe Adell tries to score on the throw, and
Mhm.
Steer has his heads up play to hit Stevenson at the plate and get him. And that was just like really cool. Like it just kind of was one of those nights at the
Yeah.
ballpark, man, and like just kind of things like that. Um, dude, it's just watching him now. And look, we're having this conversation about him. He struck out once today. No one
Mhm.
remembers it. No one
Mm-mm.
remembers it. No one's talking about it. That double he had late in the game, that
Yeah.
pitch was pretty high up in the strike zone, and he still managed to get a hold of it.
Mhm.
So I don't think he's going to play at this. He's obviously not going to be this hot forever. Like it's going to be part of the thing. But um, is this who he's going to be? I feel pretty comfortable in saying yes. Like this is what we have to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I mean, you say that he's hot. I think that he's comfortable.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
I
great way
think
to put it.
I think this is him. You know what I mean? I think he's comfortable at the plate. I think he's comfortable with who he is. I think he's comfortable with being here and the days he's playing. But like any other 22-year-old kid who was ridiculed about making errors in the field and striking out, and any other 22-year-old kid would have sunk their head, hid, would have tried to do everything possible to not take responsibility. He has stepped up. He has matured, and you can see it in his at bats. He is taking better at bats. He's taking better swings. He's taking better pitches. He's putting better contact on the ball. You can see his maturity, not only just on the baseball field, but in everything that he's done after all the ridicule, the hate, everybody else saying that, oh, he should be in the minor leagues, but like all the other bull crap that people have said. He's taken all that and continued to work and continue to get better. And those same people that were telling him that he needed to be in the minor leagues are now like, oh my God, it's Elly. He's off. Like, so he's got a lot of growth still to go, but I think he's comfortable, man. I think this is where he's at. This is his groove. This is the guy that you're going to see, hopefully for the next 10 years in a Reds uniform.
I think my favorite thing about him, and don't get me wrong, the home runs and the stolen bases are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They're a blast. My favorite thing is when when a ball hits the ground, how scared the defense is, so they just rush. So like he hits a
Oh,
ground
yeah.
ball to shortstop, and it's like he can hit like a freaking really hard rope, and you can see the shortstop like really quick trying to get the ball out. Or like today, you'll see oftentimes where like the infielder tries to field it and kind of bounce off their glove just because they're trying to rush to
Mm-hmm.
make sure like he doesn't do damage. But it's even more fun in the outfield, but it's just like a little blooper, and you can
Yeah.
see the center fielder trying to make sure he doesn't get second base. It's like,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's just
Yeah.
insane that there's one guy, this 22-year-old switch hitting shortstop who is all of 6'5" and maybe 170 pounds. I'm sure it says he's heavier than that on his baseball card, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
God, what's it gonna be like when he puts muscle on?
I know. That's insane. Like, yeah. I'll say this, like, and to your point, most shortstops have a rhythm when they catch the ball and knowing how long they've got to get over the first. But like you said, with Elly, like you can't take your little crow hop rhythm throw. Like you got to
Right.
get it out quick, or he's going to be safe. Like he makes ground balls into not routine plays every day.
So Memorial Day weekend, the Dodgers come to town. The
Mm.
battle of the National League shortstops,
Mm.
head to head.
Mm.
What's it gonna be like when he hits at Mookie and Mookie has to like be Mookie to get him out?
Oh, that'll be fun.
I am gonna make sure I go to at least 2 of those games.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I have to make this. Dude, their series like May is not easy. We've talked about this a little bit, but a lot of fun teams. So the Orioles come to town the first weekend. The Diamondbacks right after that. They go on the West Coast road trip for the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers for 4. And then they come home for the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Cardinals, which I don't know if you've looked at the scoreboards of late, but things are not going too well in St. Louis.
Yeah, things are a little down in St. Louis right now.
You know, you hate to see it. It's really a shame.
You do. I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, the Pittsburgh Pirates already coming back down to earth. 6 in a row they've lost.
I mean, did you expect anything else?
This is just for all those freaking people who are just like, this is a new thing. They're gonna be great. Yeah. Here we go.
Nah.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Pittsburgh in 4th place. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Kudos.
2 of their last 6 in a row. They played the Red Sox this weekend, who I don't know if people have been paying attention, but the Red Sox starting pitching is insane. It's the only reason they have 13 wins right now. But that's not why you're here to talk. So yeah, dude, I'm sure every week we'll have a new Elly is awesome moment. Even if he has like an over 6 game stretch, we're still going to find one. I think at one point this week his batting average the last 7 games was like 220, but his on base was like 475. Unbelievable.
Which
all right,
makes
man.
him dangerous.
Very dangerous. So these next portions here, these next 2 parts of the show, I wanted to kind of do, and I just want to kind of give some shouts to a couple guys on the team who have really kind of been very helpful and useful, and for totally different reasons. And I want to start with the local guy, our everyone's new favorite reliever, Brent Suter. So obviously today, Frankie gets hurt. He comes in, hasn't warmed up, is terrific, is incredible, and it's the second time this year he's had to do that because when Antone got hurt, he was the guy that got called upon. And this is like, obviously we're always going to root for the Cincinnati kid playing for the Reds. Don't get me wrong, but he is the most easy guy to root for in the world. Like, he seems like he's like super fun. I listened to him on Jim Day this week, and he was talking about when Antone got hurt, he was in the game pitching when he came in. So Antone's in the doctor's office. For the first inning that he throws 3 innings that day against the Mets, goes out for the second inning, goes back to the clubhouse after he's done throwing the inning, and finds TJ Antone while he's actively in the game. He has not been like pulled, to like make sure he gives him a hug and says like, "Hey, dude, we got everything, anything you need, we got you. We're here for you. We love you."
That's pretty dope.
Incredible, right? So that's just like, hey, you're like a great teammate stuff. Let's look at his numbers, because his numbers, he's had 1 outing this year where he was not very good. And that was that Phillies game. And Bob brings up the point. He's the only opponent to ever be on Jim Day's pod.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. All right. So Brent Suter this year, 9 outings, 2.3 ERA, 15 and 2/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 1.15 whip. Dude, like, I said that I thought he might be the best signing of the offseason. And I knew like people would have some people they would debate on that, obviously. But so far, He has been the best signing that they've had this from the offseason.
Yeah, I mean he has. I mean he's come in some big moments, and has done exactly what you pay him to do. Right, get outs, stretch innings, stretch games, come in and be a long reliever, be crafty, get guys out, and his stuff. Here's the thing: his stuff isn't overpowering. It's nothing that he's where he's throwing 99-mile-per-hour fastballs, or he's just crafty, dude. Like he gets into the game and he knows exactly where to put pitches to get guys out. I mean, it's very rare to see him make a mistake pitch. Like if you watch his outings, you could probably count on one hand outside of that Phillies outing. You could probably count on one hand where
And you can
he's
make
had
the case that game was his defense letting him
yeah,
down.
yeah, and that too. But you can count on one hand probably when he's made a mistake pitch. And even in those mistake pitches, they haven't been like home runs. They've been singles or a double or whatever. So he's come in and done exactly what you've asked him to do. He's giving you long relief. He's giving you that crafty lefty, especially now you know that we don't know when we're going to get Sam Moll back. He gives you that guy who can come in and eat innings, and do those things as far as getting you long stretches of innings, to where you don't have to eat up a whole bunch of guys in your bullpen. I mean, what do you go 3 innings again today?
3 1/3.
Yeah, 3 1/3, almost 4 innings of work. It's just those are the things that you value from him, being a signing in the offseason that, like you said, Tim, wasn't a guy that was really a high name. Like baseball guys knew that he was a great signing, but the average person would have been like, "Oh, okay, cool, we signed another left-hand guy, blah blah blah." But I can remember us talking on the pod, like, "Dude, that's a sneaky signing. I like that signing a lot."
Yeah.
And he's been that. I mean, he has been phenomenal. And he's, like I said, he's come in and done the job on those. Every time he's came in, he's done work. So it's been cool to see. And he's a local dude.
Yeah, that obviously helps. So I think the other thing that's really big for him that really is impressive is they were awesome this weekend, but the bullpen by and large has not been great.
Right.
Whatever's going on with Lucas Sims right now. I mean, he was good today, but it's been really frustrating. Emilio Pagan has had moments where he's looked fine, but he's had a lot of disappointing moments. Alexis Diaz seems like he's finally found his groove. He looks like he's kind of getting back to his old self, which is nice to see. But on Brent Suter's end, it's between him and Justin Wilson in for lefties right now, because Alex Young and Sam Moll are out. And Justin Wilson has not been great. He's had moments, but so it's been like a lot of like they really in a situation where they need to have to bring him in. It's been all Suter. Unfortunately, his homerless streak did end in that Philly series, but other than that, I think we could all be really happy. And he's really like, so I don't know if you listen to the Jim Day pod if you haven't. They do this thing where he like does a wheel of impressions, and they're all incredible.
Okay.
He does like Jim Carrey, Harry Carey. He does this thing where he makes fun of Derek Johnson, his pitching coach, for how he talks. It's really funny. It's really good stuff. Like Bob said, so he was the only visiting player to ever be on the pen. I mean, on Jim's Days pod, but just like an awesome dude. And he made fun of himself for the fact that he had Tommy John, because he's like, I throw like 84. I didn't think I threw hard enough to get Tommy John. Which
makes sense.
I appreciated.
Yeah. Touche.
But just an awesome dude. So happy he's on our team and doing big things for us. So this one's a little different. Not something you expect to hear from Tim Daniel by any means, but wanted to show some appreciation for Stuart Fairchild. I know, guys, hear me out. One, he should never bat third in the order. That should be a stern talking to between the front office and the manager if that keeps happening. As he has been doing against left-handed pitching. By the way, they have 2 lefties to start the Phillies series. So, because of course they do. But he's had these moments that have been so huge for this team. And I'm not going to sit here and act like he has these great numbers and these wonderful statistics. Obviously, that's not what I'm getting at here. But the defense has been solid for the most part. Friday, to kind of keep that thing going, lays down a huge bunt. That was awesome. And then yesterday, he's 0 for 11 when he comes to the plate. and starts to rally the least of the Stephenson Grand Slam. He's the 26th guy, right? Like that's who he is. He's more like he's at best a 4A player, a guy who can goes up and down, even though I think he's out of options now. But what he's been able to do for this team in need without all these guys have been on the IL, with all the suspensions. I thought it would be nice that if we're going to criticize him when he's not doing well, we have to at least be able to give him credit when he's done things to help the team win.
Absolutely. No, 100% true, man. I think that
oh yeah, Bubba Thompson's definitely the 26th guy. That guy should. We do not criticize Red Spurs on this show, but they got to figure out that spot.
Yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head, Tim. He's not lighting the world on fire, but I tell you what, he came up, like you said, he had a great bunt this weekend, started the rally for the Grand Slam. I mean, those are kind of things that you need from your 26th guy, right? Like, you don't need him to be phenomenal. You just need him to be good in spots. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like you got to be good in spots, and some of those spots he's been good in, and you got to give him credit. A guy that doesn't get at bats every day, a guy that doesn't see the field every day, come in and be ready to play is hard to do. Because baseball is a routine game. So if you're not in a routine of playing every day and you have to come in those spots and do those things, you got to give him credit to come in and get a timely hits, timely bunts, has made some good plays in the field. So yeah, I give him his props. It's cool to see a guy come in that doesn't get the recognition of being a top guy come in and do things when you need him to.
Yeah, man. I think that it was like today even. He comes in to play defense when they're trying to put the game away. So, yeah, I mean, look, we're talking about a guy right now with a 593 OPS. Obviously, we're not here to talk about, man, these incredible numbers. But just kind of what he's been able to do in the certain situations. So now that I think about it, I probably would not say he's 26. It's probably an insult with Bubba Thompson, as Sydney mentioned, and Santiago Espinal, who is like Santiago Espinal is now, I think, in that same trajectory of Jack Hanahan, Wilson Valdez, Cesar Torres, like just these guys are like. Remember that short time Tony Womack played for the Reds? Like
Tim.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think we're at that point with him. Oh man. So I won't put Matt Kemp in there because Matt Kemp at least has like had a serviceable MLB career before his 3 weeks playing for the major league team. Oh, Sydney brings up my guy, Patrick Keevelahan. Shout out Patrick Keevelahan.
Oh man.
My dude. That's always my reference for when people try to criticize Joey Votto. I say that guy was protecting him in the lineup at one point. So
yes, he was.
Yeah. Hey, before we do move on, did you see our pal Drew Stubbs was in town Saturday?
Yeah, I did see that. Throughout the first pitch, I did see that.
Yeah. So not only did Drew Stubbs throw out the first pitch, which he got dogged on by Andy Sabo during the broadcast Saturday, but got recognition, got some love from the stadium, which
absolutely.
We're obviously not biased here because we love Drew and he's been on the show multiple times and is like the nicest guy ever.
Awesome.
But we're just happy to see that for a guy who was criticized a lot in his tenure for Cincinnati, he's got at least getting recognized for the good things he did. So I'm really, really happy for him. And that was
absolutely.
Awesome to see him get his moment. And looks like he could probably still run a ball down the gap.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. When you're on a podcast with him, we only see the square. So
yeah, he still looks healthy. Like he can get it done.
Yeah, so really happy that Drew got some recognition there. Definitely think he deserved it. I think unbelievable, great moments. I was at, like I said, I've talked to him about. I was at Clinchmas when he robbed Carlos Lee of the home run in the third inning, which leads to the Jabers walk off. So, dude, we don't do this too often either on the show, and I think this is important. The Reds have a young up-and-comer in Dayton right now by the name of Cam Collier. So for
smashing baseballs.
So for those who don't know, which if you're listening to the show, you obviously know about Cam Collier. 2022 first round pick, dropped in their lap. Got him for $5 million. His dad is Lou Collier, former big leaguer, who was the first base coach in the 2023 World Baseball Classic team. Does hitting workouts in the offseason with Ken Griffey Jr. This is what Cam Collier is doing right now in Dayton. 328, 1.033 OPS, 6 home runs, 18 RBI. Ben, he had 6 home runs all year last year in Daytona.
All year,
He's
I was going to say.
runs now. This is the dude, right? Like we've graduated this McLean De La Cruz CES class. And now we're into the Cam Colliers, the Blake Dunns, the Jacob Hurtubizes. I had to make sure I mentioned those guys. All right, had to make sure I mentioned those guys so I didn't have someone going off on me. Yeah, dude. So 2 weeks into the season, 6 bombs already.
Yeah,
probably going to be in Chattanooga the next month if things keep going the way they are. I just can't see that. I mean, he's doing great things down there in Dayton. I mean, up there in Dayton, I should say. But the clips are insane. I haven't made it to a Dragons game yet this year.
We need to. But
the clips of these, like the sound the ball makes coming off his bat, it's unbelievable.
It's different. It's definitely different.
He's 19.
Yeah. I mean, there's something special about that young man. So, I mean, when he hits a baseball, you can how just people have different sounds when they hit. Like his bat just sounds different than everybody else's. So
yeah,
and we've said that. I mean, like with Elly, we've said that. It's just different. But what he's able to do as a 19-year-old kid playing Major League Baseball, I mean, he's been incredible. I feel like every night I get some clips sent to me like, oh yeah, Cam Collier, bam, you're like, geez, oh please, dude, he is just smashing baseball. So big up to him, man. I don't know what the progressions are as far as him going, from Dayton to Chattanooga or whatever, but I hope that whatever they do, they let this kid progress the way he's progressing. And if he's in Dayton the whole time, great, it's whatever. I just want to see him have this consistency throughout the year and be able to do it wherever he feels comfortable. So, but it's been a lot of fun to see the last 2 weeks, him swinging the bat and doing what he's been able to do.
Pat says, I want him in Cincy now. Hey, man,
dude, he's legit.
Noelvi Marte can't be on the playoff roster. Huh?
Maybe. You never know.
Santiago Espinal's on the 40-man. That's like your easy answer. Huh? Guys, you feeling me? Crowd, chat, you feeling this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney says 19 years old and at double A would be insane.
Listen, if he passes up Jacob Hurt, I know, it would be insane. He passes up Hurtubise, you don't have an issue.
Oh yeah. Someone's really gonna be mad at the guy on the left at that point.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man, it's just awesome to see because I mean, I feel like we were so downtrodden after Marte gets suspended or Royal gets hurt for the year.
Yeah.
So to have this is something to look forward to, and I know everyone I love Blake Dunn as well, but this dude is just different. Blake Dunn's already in his mid-20s. Cam Collier's 19. So, yeah. By the way, Rhett Lauder also plays on that team. He's good. Heard of him? He's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah. Chattanooga today, by the way, real quick when I touch on this, hit 5 homers as a team today.
Did they really?
Yeah. Just tank season.
Jeez, oh, please.
Tank season.
Gosh, dang.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. All right, man. So we got to look forward now to, look at this. We are like 15 minutes under time getting into the last segment. A matchup with the Philadelphia Phillies, the Reds' first repeat opponent of the year. So obviously the Reds went into Philly and took 2 out of 3. That was right before they got hot and got crazy. So this is an interesting Really interesting series now because, like we said to start the show when we mentioned it, the Phillies have been awesome of late. They've been really, really good. I still can't get used to Bryce Harper playing first base. I know I mentioned this the last time they played the Phillies. It's just weird to me.
It
Okay.
looks weird.
Yeah.
No, that's no. I agree with you 100%, dude. It looks odd.
Yeah.
It looks odd.
And Bryce Harper's the only reason they won a game against the Reds in that series. So,
Yeah.
because he had that 3 home run game, but to just keep trends going. First two pitching matchups of the series, lefties. Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ranger Suarez, awesome, really good at baseball. Going against
Yes, he
Hunter Green.
is.
Then Christopher Sanchez against Andrew Abbott. Wednesday is fun,
Oh yeah.
really fun. Nick
Yeah.
Lodol versus Spencer Turnbull. Man, imagine if the Tigers had kept Spencer Turnbull with Tariq Skubal with what he's doing right now. Oh my God, they'd be incredible.
Yeah.
They'd be insane. Shout out the Guardians, by the way. They're freaking awesome. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
them come to town here in a couple weeks. And then Thursday we got Graham Ashcraft against Zach Wheeler. Fun series. Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about Graham Ashcraft? Because it seems like
Mm.
first two rounds through the lineup, he's great. That third round has not been fun.
Yeah. I can't say that I'm worried. I do think that there is a I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. I don't want to say I'm worried because I do think he's very talented. But I do have some concerns as far as him being able to navigate long games. If that makes sense. So like you said, he gets through those first 3 to 4 innings and he just looks great. I feel like he gets to the 5th, 6th, and I don't know if it's just trying to find pitches. I don't know if it's not being able to find the strike zone or people are seeing you for the third time, which they say that once you get the third time in the line, it's really hard to get outs. But to watch him, I feel like he struggles to navigate pitches that third time through. Like it's almost like he's overthinking it. Like, oh man, this is the third time I've seen them. I need to try to be this, that. Like you're making it harder than what it is. It feels like. So I'm not really concerned. He just needs to find a way to be able to navigate that without it being something where he struggles with. He needs to find a way to navigate it. So I can't say that I'm worried. I just hope that he finds a way. And part of that's maturity too, right? I mean, just learning how to do it and longevity and get as many outs as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that I think it's too early to put him in the bullpen. Like there's some people on the socials that are suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's still doing this and we're in August, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not even to the first month of the season yet. So
yeah.
Give it time. Tomorrow's interesting because I think when we've talked about this with Hunter a million times, and I know we have. Hunter against good teams besides the Brewers seems to kind of be when he does his thing, right? That's when he gives you the 6 inning game and the 9 strikeouts. I feel pretty good about tomorrow, but it's very fascinating that how much they're going to need him to last tomorrow because of today, right? And Nick Martinez yesterday threw 3 innings.
Yep.
So it's like, who's all going to be available tomorrow? It's going to be really interesting. So tomorrow they really need him to last. They really need him to give them innings.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fascinating to me.
Yeah, he needs to be good.
And then, of course,
yeah, he needs to be good. Just because the fact that they've stretched their bullpen thin, he needs to be really good tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, no one's going to be mad if you lose to the Phillies because they're good, but it would be really nice if they would win tomorrow.
Yeah. I think for Hunter Green's psyche, it'd be good for them to win.
Yeah, dude.
I think he needs this game.
I agree. Yeah. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday this week they get Fraley and India back. Obviously they're the latest to get hit with the flu bug. I don't know what's going on in that ball, and that's in that right now, but we would like for it to stop so guys can be
Yeah.
available. But yeah, man, I think that this is gonna be a really fascinating series. And then, of course, this weekend they go to Texas and play the defending world champs. Did you see that clip of Chris Sale going against Corey Seager?
I did.
Oh my gosh!
I did.
Yeah, that was crazy. Chris Sale
Yes,
hasn't
it
looked like
was.
that in a long time, so I'm happy for
No.
him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was tough.
Well, we got like 9 minutes. We're under time. You still got 9 minutes to finish the show?
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's go through real quick. All right. So I want to sort of kind of touch around the division. Yeah, my guy Jordan brings it up. Handled Texas last year because they swept them. I was at one of those games. It was the game when John Sadek shouted me out on television, and John's my guy forever for that reason.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. All right, dude. So we already made fun of the Pirates and the Cardinals, and if you want to do that for another few minutes, I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that.
But looking around the division, Milwaukee has now won 7 of the last 10. They've won 4 in a row. They're 14-6, and so far have been very good.
Yeah.
Does this last? Do you think this like keeps going?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I'm starting to believe that they just have one of those things, like one of those things
Yeah.
where there's always good. It's just no matter what.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think that I agree with you on that. I think that they're just one of those things where they are just good. And it doesn't matter who's in their lineup, it doesn't matter who's pitching, it doesn't matter, like they're just a solid. It's almost like it's almost like the Miami Heat, right? Like
Yeah.
doesn't like they just have that culture of winning, and they know what it takes to win, and they've got their guys, and yeah, I just think that that's who they are.
Yeah, I don't think Willie Adames is going to be having a 889 OPS all year by any means.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you look at their rotation. I mean, today they beat the Cardinals 2-0, and they get a really solid outing from Colin Ray, who goes 5 innings of shutout baseball. Brock Hudson comes in, throws 2 innings. Brian Hudson, sorry. Brock Hudson is like a former actor. Sorry, guys. But also really good today. So they can just always pitch, and they're annoying. They're super annoying. The Cubs on the other end, 13-9, 2 games out of first right now. Not that that really matters. Right. I'm not as enthused by the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks has looked terrible, like really bad. I know Jack, our good friend here, but if you look down their lineup, like Nico Hoerner's hitting well. Michael Busch obviously had that crazy run where he had like 6 games in a row where he had homers. But I'm not looking at the Cubs like super scared of them at this point. Bellinger, I think, looks more like the post MVP years. Bellinger, Dansby Swanson does not look good at all.
Nope.
So and then their bullpen is like very rough, but I still think they're going to end up with a winning record. I just don't think like when it comes to them, and I think this is like a Milwaukee Cincinnati kind of year for the division.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think that I don't think that they have a consistently good enough lineup to be where they are right now. I think that their bullpen will let them down. I don't think their lineup is great. It's decent, not great. So I think between those two things, their starting pitching isn't great. I mean, it's decent, not great.
Yeah,
so
Shota's awesome, but
right, yeah. But besides that, I mean, I think that they've been very mediocre. So that's the one I think of the 3 teams that are up top now. I think the Cubs are the ones that'll start to fall back a little bit, because I just don't think that they can do it consistently with that lineup and that relievers.
I agree. The St. Louis side of things, yeah, they've been really bad. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think they're good, but I don't think they'll be this bad all year. I mean, Goldschmidt looks awful at this point in the year, so I don't trust. But like Wilson Contreras looks great. I don't know where that came from. Sonny Gray was awesome today, and they just didn't help him out. It's like he was back in Cincinnati all over again. He has an incredible game, and no one scores runs for him. So it's like things don't change. I don't know, man. Like, I know people here like joking that they like about Michael Ciani from his
Hmm.
time here. That guy started in center field for the Cardinals today. Like,
Hmm.
yikes.
Yeah. 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 You've got more faith in the Cardinals than I do. Um, because I told I just like where like where does it get better for them?
Goldschmidt's gonna
Like,
get better, but
yeah, but I mean that's just him. Like, where else in
right.
their lineup does it get better?
That's true. That's a
I
great
mean,
point.
you know what I mean? So like I just don't know if one guy can pull you up that much. Well, I mean, because Goldschmidt's an MVP caliber player, and I get that, and he's going to be better. But will him being better make everybody else better?
Yeah, looking through this now. Okay, so Mason Wynn's got an 810 OPS so far this year, and I think he's pretty good. So I'm not gonna sit
Mm-hmm.
here and like try to tear him down. But
Mm-hmm.
like Brendan Donovan is their leadoff hitter. I freaking say this now. Watch, all these guys are gonna go crazy the next couple weeks. Like Lars
I know.
Nootbaar has been like has been good. Um, Arenado's got a nice batting average, but his OPS is below average.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I Newbar and Goldschmidt, they can get going. It's probably like their best bet. And their bullpen's good. Their bullpen's been really good so far this year. So I can't take that from them, but I'm with you. And let's just make fun of the Pirates because they're losers and they're a stupid organization. And all these people who were like, man, we're bringing all our guys up. We're going to be fine. Like, they're going to put it together and watch out. Like, yeah, you guys have a lot of talent. Congratulations. You'll trade it all in 5 years like you always do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, look at their team right now. All right. So Connor Joe is like good. I would just leave it
Mm-hmm.
at that. But Brian Reynolds has not been good yet this year. Brian Hayes has been okay. Jack Sawinski stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew McCutcheon, Rowdy Telez, Joey Bart.
Cruz.
Buddy, all these O'Neill Cruz is better than Elly De La Cruz, people. Let's just look at this right now, okay?
Oh
Let's just
man.
And then I had never heard of Jared Triolo until I just pulled up their box score from today. So that's a shame on me for sure. But yeah, this team is whatever like that run was, and I understand the Red Sox are awesome right now, but like they got to
Mm-hmm.
go play Milwaukee this week. They're not winning any of it. Like they're not. It's a 4-game set against the Brewers, and they have them at home.
It
They
won't
do
matter.
no, and they have Paul Skeens, and then Paul Skeens is going to be awesome. I have no doubt
Mm-hmm.
about it. But he only plays every 5th day, Pirates fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's relax here. So once again, Aroldis Chapman finds himself on a team that he's going to pitch to a cruddy team until the trade deadline. And
Yep.
then he'll get traded to somewhere and go on some team that's going to go on a playoff run.
Yep.
And I do have to say, because he's a Louisville kid, I am bummed that Henry Davis is there because I
Yeah.
would really love to root for him. I just can't.
I just can't.
Yeah. Anything from that city with those colors, not happening.
Can't do it.
Yeah, can't do it. All right, guys. Well, I think with that being said, we're going to wrap up this week's edition of Late Night Reds. Really fun. Hopefully, we're talking about a nice, fun week against the Phillies and the Rangers. This is a tough week. I mean, I know the Rangers aren't
Mm-hmm.
playing to the Rangers caliber yet, but
But still tough.
still a team that I'm nervous to play for sure. Let's kind of just go real quick. So obviously everything going around the Riverfront. So check out Riverfront Red Show here on this feed. Red Leg Roundtable on Tuesday this week. Seth has a really fun episode there as well. Seth told us that he got a certain guest that's gonna be coming on in a couple weeks that keep an eye out for. It's gonna be it's gonna be a really, really great one to have. But make sure you're checking those guys out. Check out Welcome to the Jungle with Joe and Parker as they're getting ready for the NFL draft on Thursday. Had an awesome offensive breakdown that has me like praying that Brock Bowers drops to the Bengals on Thursday. Because they sold me. Everyone sold me. I'm in. So check that out as well. And then of course NBA Friday. Whenever we do a show, we moved that up last week because of the play-in. So myself, Sean, Parker, or anyone that wants to fill and hang out with us. So on behalf of Ben Brown, this is Tim Daniel. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Go Reds.